You didn't even let us know, Jack. All right, welcome to another episode of The Urban Platform Speaks. We got as usual, we got a good show for you. So, how come I can't tell us live then? Oh, okay, there it is. There it is. It's a little bit of what's that? A delay. All right, so like I said, as usual, we got a good show lined up for y'all. How's my mic? My mic sound good?
Sounds good.
Yeah, we're gonna. Yeah. So today we're going to talk about the school shooting that happened yesterday, West Baltimore Carver High School. Uh, I think it was yesterday because when I came, I was driving home from work. Mikey called me and she was, yeah, it happened like right outside her classroom.
Oh.
Yeah, she said she had she got in the building I think like 7:45 or so, and then like a few minutes after she got in her class, she heard some shots, and she said that she was like, no, that can't be no shots. And so she said she looked out the little window, and she said, it was kids out there. They was running back and forth, and she said that to her it was normal because kids be running, back and forth and stuff. And then she also seen some people walking, so she was like, nah, it could have been shots. Just a couple minutes later, she realized that somebody really got shot. Actually, it was three kids. Yeah, three kids who got shot. And, it's just crazy, man. She said she don't know if it was like a retaliation from something that happened like a week or so ago.
From what I heard on the news, it seemed like it was something, because some parents was involved.
Yeah,
Yeah, so
yeah.
it's a lot more to it. I'm not too sure if it was, if some parents just came to not bully the other person, but just
Yeah.
when people mess with your children, it's like you're not trying to. You just, I think sometimes you're trying to scare the other person or trying to see what's going on. But I don't know.
Yeah.
But I do know parents was involved
Yeah.
because they was in custody. So everybody.
Oh yeah. So do you know if they made any arrest calls like the person that shot the other kids?
Well, well, from my understanding, it was two kids. It was two kids. I think they were shooting each other or shot each other.
Right.
The third person was just, I guess, an innocent. I didn't have
Yeah.
anything to do with it.
Yeah.
But I think it's more to it.
Okay, yeah, because from what Mikey told me, like one of the kids that got shot or that was involved also had a gun.
Right.
Right, yeah. So I'm like, oh, okay. So like the week before, she says a kid had got beat up and they like stripped and took his clothes and stuff like that. So that could have been like retaliation or something from like from what happened last week. I'm not sure if it's a retaliation, but it's yeah, if it's even connected. But it's just like the schools today, man. Like when we was in school, like you had fights and stuff like that, but it was.
And then you just had one or two bullies.
Yeah.
It was,
But it's thing like yeah, as soon as something happened, then everybody's just going straight to the guns and then shooting each other and stuff like that.
Nobody knows. I guess nobody knows how to really physically fight.
No, ain't no more fighting no more. Everybody just if they don't jump you, then they going there's no jumping people. Or well, I mean they just jump you, or even or even they gonna shoot you. So yeah, that's crazy. And so Mikey, she a teacher at Carver, and what she said, she said she really tired of it. She looking to do something else, because because I remember last year she sent me pictures of like the SWAT. It was a SWAT team inside her school looking for somebody. And I was like, wow, so, and then she used to send me videos of like, it'd be fights and stuff all the time, so.
It's just so, the kids are lost.
Yeah, yeah.
And so it's like, how can a 15-year-old, 13-year-old, 9-year-old have a gun in their possession, like, or what allows them to feel comfortable with handling a gun?
Yeah.
What are you thinking? So then when you have these kids commit these crimes, these carjacking, or assaulting people.
Yeah.
And they say they have these laws put in place to protect it. Basically, they protect the kids. And I think when they were put in place at one time, it was because I think it was more like a racial profiling type of thing. But now it's a different generation.
Yeah.
So, it has to be some type of consequences that they have to
Yeah.
put in. It has to be because it's. And then I think when they lock these kids up or whatever they do to them, instead of just locking them up, holding them, there needs to be some type of rehabilitation. And also the parents.
Yeah.
The parents also need some parenting classes or something. And that way you get to find out exactly what's going on at home. Because you can't tell me your child has come home, you don't know that your child has a gun.
Yeah. Well, yeah, I mean, it could be more accountability, like you said, as far as like the parents is concerned. And then also, yeah, do you think it's gonna get to the point where they're gonna have to like do like virtual classes and stuff like that? Like just not even have kids go to school?
I hope not.
Yeah.
Some people don't grasp like that. I hope not.
Yeah.
That's how you learn how to interact with people, how to communicate. They already have the cell phones and text and everything, so they already used to communication by text and everything instead of
interaction
talking.
Stuff. Yeah.
Talking to people. But
yeah.
I mean, I hope not. It's just things just need to be put in place. These kids, especially the kids that get in trouble a lot with the laws, they know their rights. They know their rights. They know the laws, which is they don't know nothing else. They know their laws. They know what they can do, what they can't do. What can happen. They know.
Yeah.
So it's just like a slap on the a slap on the hand, and that's it.
Yeah. Yeah. So I'm just thinking though that like I said, probably Tanisha she gonna be here, and because she also a teacher at the school, and Mikey was telling me that like word travels so fast that she was at one school, she called a teacher at another school, and the teacher at the other school already knew. She knew like what happened, and she even knew like what student got shot because texting, phone calls, and communicating in general. So she even know what I'm like. Wow, that's crazy for them to have word travel that fast, and that what's going on in the school, and I don't know what to say.
I believe it's not. It can't be a lost cause. It has to be. It's something that can be. Something that can be.
Yeah. But like you said, I wouldn't want it to go to virtual school either, because they are going to be missing out on like social skills and stuff like that. Yeah. Yeah.
That's just
Yeah. Hey, Tanisha, did you get my message? It's open. Yeah. Yeah. I was hoping that Melissa ain't locked that door.
It's locked.
Oh, okay, yeah. So we talking about the situation that happened at Carver High School. Was that was yesterday, right? Friday.
Yeah.
Yeah, and so it might go into hopefully like I was saying, hopefully it don't get to the situation where they have to feel like they have to do like virtual classes like that, because that'll hurt the kids as far as like their social skills. Like I said, some kids don't grasp situations and stuff like other kids, and then they need that one-on-one attention. So you can come right on and get your. I got the mic's right over here. Yeah.
I'm wondering if because I was going to say, wonder if they put the problem kids on virtual.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
But then who's going to make sure they're
Yeah.
they're already running the street.
Right.
So that's kind of
So yeah, so
Everybody's a problem kid.
yeah,
So that's the problem. Like it's so many kids that have so many issues
right. That's why I said they need the person.
that they overshadow the kids that don't. So all the kids is doing the right thing and trying to be good in school. The focus is never on them. It's always on the kids that are causing the most disruption. So it's a lot. It's a lot. Every day school is rough.
yeah, it's rough.
It's rough. And the kids don't have any conflict resolution. They have no idea how to resolve anything. All they know is that they go to social media. They are real subliminal and indirect, and it's always like an indirect attack on somebody, and then it goes viral. Like a bunch of kids share it on top of sharing it, and then once it get back to the wrong person, then it's a fight. It's like nothing that I don't know. It's just a mess. It's just a mess. And at Carver, those were children shooting at each other.
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah. So, like, what do you like with that situation though? Like, Mike told me that she called you, but you already knew about it.
yeah, so a student came in my room. Well, she called me, but a student came in my room. Um, she texted me and said, they were shooting. I'm like, what is 7:50 in the morning?
Yeah.
What in the world? So sometimes we get they're shooting and it's not the school, it's not the kids, it's the neighborhood, it's people outside. And so that's usually what we're thinking. But she like, no, it's kids here. And I'm like, what? And then a kid came in my room, probably right after first period, like 9 o'clock, and she was like, my cousin got shot at Carver. And I'm like, what? And so then it kind of like, oh, now I know more about what's going on, but it's unfortunate. Like the whole situation is terrible.
Yeah.
But what's it? Some parents involved or something?
Yeah. So it was from what it appears like a retaliation. It was I guess one of the kids got banked earlier.
That's that's something that Mike told me. Like one kid got banked or something.
Yeah.
And then, it was.
And then even like everybody knows that. Like when I was looking at the post in the comments, like somebody said, "Well, tell what happened the other day," and it doesn't matter what happened. The fact that parents encourage the behavior is crazy to me. Like I get it. I get the embarrassment. I get how the kid was probably completely and utterly humiliated after what happened to him on Monday. But as a parent, you got to figure out a way to change that, to redirect that and teach the kid a better lesson than, okay, you need your get back. And I'm going to take you to a school early in the morning for your get back. And you got a gun on you? Like, come on, that's just too much.
Yeah. So, like, what do y'all think of like some solutions though, far as like, I mean, because we can't like really just it's not all on the can't really blame the kids. You know what I mean? Like, so, what can we do as adults like to change like the
Well, that's what I
the
was saying.
environment?
Some of these parents and these kids, because these kids are in the system. They know these kids. Some of them probably didn't know by name. But so when they get in trouble, the parents need to get in trouble. Like, and then there's some parents where they have to have some type of parental or something, and then, and hold them accountable, to it.
Yeah.
And depending on what the crime is, when you pay fines. Like,
I agree. It has to be some parent accountability because these kids are literally raising themselves. I have never seen so many children without parents. Like, I just can't believe that is the truth. Like, everybody don't have a parent that cares anything about them. Like,
at home,
yeah.
So
A lot of these like young boys, from my understanding, are like the men in their houses. Like their parents are okay with them growing up and providing and beating the street and doing what they got to do in order to put food on the table. But it's just like, even with my female students, I work at a school that's predominantly female, and just to see how hard they work to meet this hustle narrative or this hustle mentality. Like they've been taught that one job isn't proof of success. In order to be successful and to be doing your thing, you need to have 5 jobs that add up to the amount that one makes. And I'm like, why are you so gun ho on hustling all your life? Like my mother hustling. I'm like, quiet that down. Don't tell everybody that. Like that's not, because they see struggle and on the outside of the struggle, on the flip side of the struggle, they see superficial stuff that makes it look like their parents are succeeding. So they see their mother working every day, every shift, just to come home. They're unattended all the time. But on the weekend or whenever she get paid, they got Balenciagas and Balmains and you know, Under Armour, everything from head to toe. So they like, oh, my mother get it. She got money. That's taking care of me. So then now that's what they strive to be. Is crazy. It is crazy. It's crazy.
Yeah, because I work with people, these young guys, and they come to work with $300 and $400 jeans.
Yeah.
Like, you know, you paying that kind of money, or you investing your money into something?
Yeah.
You know, they don't, right, because there's no one there to really guide them or teach them.
Yeah.
But when you have these kids that are constantly in trouble, you know, and then you find you have these parenting classes that the parents have to go attend by themselves, their classes with the children. Then you might get an insight of what's actually going on at home, and then you can meet their needs. You know, so you know they may need a job, or a job. They may need some more education. So you know, you provide that, you know, and stay on them. You know, because you also have people that are in these positions to help other people that are lazy. It's there for paycheck.
Yeah, absolutely.
So we got a comment from Tanya Stevenson. She's saying, what's the backstory? I'm not in Baltimore. Yeah, but all right. So if yesterday, Friday, 3 kids got shot outside of Carver High School. So now we just talking about like what could be like what happened first of all, and then like what could be some solutions from the adults, coming from the adults to like change the environment where kids feel like they need to to go to the school and beat up other kids, then come back and retaliate with with a shooting, what happened yesterday as far as a shooting. So we talking about what happened. Also, we trying to see if we can come up with some solutions or some suggestions. Tanisha is a student. I'm going to say you're a student, and that's a compliment.
Yeah.
Yeah, she's a teacher at Baltimore City Schools. So we could get some input on her. Like, what's it like to? How you feel though? Like as far as like teaching in a Baltimore, are you like? Do you get the fulfillment?
Are you scared?
Yeah.
Oh no.
Yeah.
I don't think fear ever is in my mind when I get to school. For the most part, I feel safe.
Yeah.
I also don't work at a large school.
Mhm.
My school's population is 400 students.
Okay.
But despite that, like I said, it's heavy female. When I say they fight all the time. And it's literally because they don't know any other way to fix a problem. And their culture, their generation is the fight generation. Like that is what they do. And the better you are at it, the more clout you have, the more attention, the more friends, things like that. So the biggest problem with the children is that they don't respect authority. And they have little to no respect for themselves. So they don't care about respect. The only time they value respect and loyalty is only when it pertains to them and their circumstances. So like in their neighborhoods, in their communities, respect is high. So they're gonna have respect there because it's not tolerated unless they do. But in school, they have this misconception that adults can't do nothing to them because they in school. So they just do whatever, say whatever to some people, most people, and the people feel like they don't have, adults feel like they don't have a realm of control, like to say anything back.
Yeah, I had no leverage. They
Not me.
no leverage.
Not me.
It's not the consequence.
Not me. I established that from the door. Like, respect is my only rule. I don't tolerate disrespect from anyone. And I'm not going to tolerate disrespect from a child. Like, it's just not going to happen. So it's my way, that way, or it's no way. Like, and honestly, not enough people put their foot down because they're scared the kids are going to push back and push back violently. But a lot of teachers, I mean, teachers who are the same as me, we put our foot down because it's just no room for fear. You can't be scared. If you feel scared,
So if they can't fight, how do they protect themselves?
Well,
What if they're being bullied? Well, I mean, teach
so
the kids to use their words.
yeah, and even in the fighting, they wait till they come to school so that they can fight in hopes of people breaking it up. But as we get more and more to today's time, teachers are less and less inclined to jump into a fight because it puts them in harm's way. And even me, I'm big tough at school. I tell them from the beginning, please don't fight. You better figure out something else because I'm no longer jumping into a fight, putting myself in harm's way. So you're gonna be fighting until the police come here. And unless I feel inclined that somebody's gonna get hurt. But this is why I try to avoid all of that from the beginning. The moment I see some crap starting in my room, I nip it in the bud. Every time those kids huddle up, they sit at the table, they idle talking, I'm listening. They think I'm not. I am. So by the end of the class, I know, oh, she's beefing with so-and-so, and then I'll tell whoever's in charge of the students, like, hey, it's a beef between so-and-so brewing. You might want to get on it, because by the end of the school day, they will be fighting. But not enough teachers do that. Everybody is scared.
So, but do some of the fear also come from like the administration and like how things are set up? Because like parents today, like, you know, if you hit your kid or if you discipline your kid at home, like depending on the way you discipline your kid, you know, like you can get in trouble as a parent. So do you think like that's playing a part in it?
It's possible. It's possible.
Parenting, they passing the buck.
Yeah, yeah, that's the problem. So
they our job description.
Right.
It's not just us. We live for a short period of time during the day. Like they go home. They practice in the school is what y'all do at home. So you can't put it all on the teacher.
No, that's not my question though. Yeah.
Literally, like the parents take no accountability.
Yeah.
None. Zero. And when their kids get into stuff at school, they come to the school, and when I say the first person they want to kill is the teacher, well, what the hell were you doing? Ain't that your job? And I'm like, it is not my job to see, you patrol your kids like a correctional officer. And honestly, that's what school is like. It's jail.
Parenting skills.
Yeah.
And
I think it should be heavy consequences for them. I don't think the truancy consequence is big enough for parents. They always find a way to backtrack themselves out there. And kids do not come to school, and their parents know that they're not coming to school. They know. It ain't no surprise to them.
You step, the system need to step in when they know their children are coming to school. They need to step in when they know their children are just, when they failing.
Yeah, it needs to be something.
Parents don't even be knowing their kids' grade.
Right.
Like
Not
parents
at all.
full cost progress reports, they not.
I'm saying even with the kids who can't function because of all this disruption going around, their parents also need to be,
Oh yeah.
It's just so hard to get. The kids are raising themselves.
Yeah.
Dead serious. It is so hard. It is so hard to get a
The
parent
good
like
parents
yourself.
are the parents
You know?
of the good kids.
Yep, that's what it is. That literally is
So
what
the
it
good
is.
parents are the parents I need to talk to, and those are the person always showing up.
Yep.
So
Yeah.
what about like So, and then sometimes like you will see more parents like at a sporting event than you will
Oh.
like at, like parents teacher night, like go to a basketball game,
Yeah.
a football game, and then everybody running up and down the sideline cheering their kid on. But then, when it comes to parent teacher night at the school,
If we got
you know,
1, 3,
you
got
got
a 3 out of 1,400.
students that you teach.
Yeah.
When we was coming up, you didn't really see our parents at no games.
No, right. Yeah, my mom never seen me
Yeah,
play
that's
basketball
kinda
when I
true.
was in school.
It's kind of
She never
it
gave
was
me
like flip flop.
Yeah.
They was trying to
Yeah,
get
yeah.
But
You know what
also,
else? When we were younger, a lot of parents, I feel like sports was our thing. Like if you were good, like a lot of people played sports. If you were great at sports, then it wasn't a lot of people great at sports. Like parents didn't allow their children at the time, unless that was all they did, to think that sports was the opportunity out of poverty, out of hardship, out of like my mother never came. I was a cheerleader. She never came to anything. Never. Literally never. And it never bothered me. Because I felt like cheerleading was my thing.
Yeah.
It was my sport. It was my fun. It was activity. But now parents put their whole entire livelihoods on the fact that their child is going to play a sport and get them out of the position
yeah,
that they
so they
in.
live in like vicariously
Yeah.
with their kids.
So
Yeah.
getting a grade is important. Being the best on the court is
Yeah.
important because that's going to get you the money.
All right, so let me respond to Tanya. Tanya says that my mom didn't go to parent teacher night either, to tell the truth. All right, so but what the difference was is by the time we left the house, we knew that we needed to respect authority.
Yeah.
So, if your mother didn't have time to go to the school for parent teacher meeting, that's because she knew you already knew that she was gonna put that foot in your.
Yeah, the moment she had to.
Yeah. So if my mother got a call from a teacher, like my mom got calls from the teacher, and no way she was on my side. She was
Ever.
like, what the hell?
Ever.
You know what I mean? So I remember one time the teacher called home and she was like, I got Mike sitting here in the office. She was like, well, what Mike do? She was like, hold on, Mike's sick. You know what I mean? I was like, oh, okay, yeah, because she wasn't gonna go up to school and fight no teachers. Because she knew that I was bullshit.
Parents was always on the teacher's side.
Yeah.
And this is why I don't jump to call them. I call, and it's such a nonchalant, why the hell you calling me attitude. I've had parents tell me, baby girl, she is in the 12th grade, she your problem. I don't care. I send her to school, she your problem. She's always my problem at home. Like they completely wash their hands of
And
these
that's why I
kids.
think these parenting skills, because some parents are really, to take up for some of the parents, they have issues too.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
They
absolutely.
have issues too, and they need help too, and they have mental issues as well, and they trying to figure out things for themselves, and they feel like these kids giving me problems, and how can I, get around this? They getting on my nerves. I wish I never had them because this, and everybody wants the perfect child.
Yeah. I'm
so-
telling you, it's like everybody is raising a doll baby. A doll baby, something they can dress up and put on for show. They don't care about the child. At least that's not what it seems like. And they're getting younger and younger. The mothers are getting younger and younger.
Yeah.
So I have children in my class who have mother, grandmother, great grandmother, and sometimes great great grandmother because everybody is 12 years apart. Like dead serious, like they look at me and be like, you old. Anything about me, not once I tell them how old I am, because they usually don't know. But once I tell them how old I am, you old. And I'm like, how is that old? They don't know what old is. They're like, my grandmother 40. Like, what?
Grandma 40.
And I asked them
They
in class,
definitely
like,
jumping, so I mean, they got it at that age, so yeah.
and
you
they,
know.
they don't have no aspirations of getting older. They don't have it. So like I asked them like, how many people's grandmothers And then when I say that, they look, I said, wait, let me take it back. How many people in here have grandmothers that are grandmother age? And they like, how about 60? I'm like, yeah, let's start at 60.
Yeah.
Man, my great-grandmother, they don't have no grandmothers that's 60. And the kids that have older parents and older grandparents, you can completely tell because they are completely socially awkward. It is just like every day is a psychological battle with me and these kids just trying to figure out like how does this happen? How do you not have common sense or intelligence? Everything is lacking. Everything is lacking, and then they come to school and the teachers are expected to do everything, and the kids and parents are not the only people who expect teachers to do everything. The administration, Baltimore City Public Schools, everybody puts the burden on the teacher, and it makes our job almost impossible. So,
yeah, I mean that is an impossible job.
So if the teachers was to go on a strike,
baby, the buildings would be burnt down. These kids probably would be rioting because
y'all need help.
Absolutely, but nobody wants to try. It's too hard.
And then the kids need help. And then you have the parents need help. And don't forget you have some of these grandparents raising the kids, their grandkids, they need help.
They need lots of help.
So it's like, but everybody's talking about the kids, the parents, and the teachers, but no one's talking about who's over top.
Yeah, absolutely not. And that's what happens. Like kids, even
and I can pay all this.
And listen, it's a lot of people get paid a lot of money to do nothing.
Yeah.
But these kids are trying for some type of structure.
Yeah, exactly.
So if you and a lot of teachers miss that. Like a lot of teachers think they want to be lazy. They think they want to come in a classroom, but that is their normal life. That is how life is outside of the classroom. And unfortunately, they come into the classroom to look for a spark. Look for something different. Look for somebody who at least care that they falling asleep every day. With somebody who's gonna check them because their grades are terrible in their class. Like they looking for some structure, but they will never tell you that's what they want. But you can tell the moment that you give them that, a lot of the behavioral issues, I don't have no behavioral issues in my class because I teach them.
Yeah.
I teach them. And that's it. That's
so
it.
do you feel like you get enough support though from the administration? Because you don't have those some of the issues that a lot of other teachers have. So like, are you getting support from the administrators like in your school?
Yeah, that's what I was about to say. I am.
Yeah.
I am my own support. Like
And other people support.
I guess everybody knows that they don't have to help me.
Mm-hmm.
They don't have to do anything. Everything that goes on in my classroom goes on in my classroom. We handle beefs in my classroom. We don't need to go outside the classroom. And if we do, it is a few and far between. And it's because I can't tolerate it or handle it. So, but that rarely happens. And I'm talking, I've been doing this work for 10 years and that may have happened twice.
Yeah.
But other than that, like my room is my room, and nobody, I don't care who you are, can come in my room and tell me what these kids need because you're not with them. I know what they need. We don't put on no shows for people. Like we don't do that. We work in my room. And if somebody just happens to be walking around and see the kids, they not from the building, they from this place, they do going on these walks to see if the kids doing what they supposed to do. If they come in my room, they will get exactly what we're doing in a moment. And it's real. I'm not making my kids put on no show for nobody. Y'all gonna see what it is, because if you come in the room and you see what I have to deal with, the real, then maybe, just maybe, that might promote a little bit of change.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Like how many male teachers though now, is that a fact?
I feel like it needs to be more,
Mm-hmm.
especially in urban environments. It just needs to be a lot more diversity.
Mm-hmm.
Kids need to be exposed to different type of people.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, even when we was in school, but we did have, like when I was in junior high and high school, we had some male teachers, that you know, like, and you respected those guys, and you had to look up. You know what I mean? You had to, you know, they held you accountable. So the few male teachers that, yeah, oh yeah, the women teachers ain't take no stuff either. But they also had the backing of the principal. You know, because if like my teachers used to lean on me, and then I couldn't, you know, that was it.
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah,
like,
you
it
know,
was, yeah, it was always community. Like, everybody knew who was in charge.
yeah.
Let me tell you something. There has not been one school that I've ever attended where I didn't know who the principal was. The principal and the assistant principal. We knew who was in charge. It was a lot of things that principals were never not visible. Now, principals not visible.
Yeah,
The kids don't know who the principals are. Let me tell you who they think the principals are. Every hall monitor, behavioral specialist, like the people who are in charge of keeping the kids together, that's who they think. They think all the muscle in the building.
And assistant
Yeah.
principal. They might mistake one of the assistant principals for the principal, but that's not it.
Baltimore City teachers, like a convention, like a big, I don't know if it's a convention, but a big.
Yeah.
That's what I want to say, so much convention, but as far as.
We had PDs all the time.
But that's not for like all city schools. That's for like your district, like
I'm
network.
talking about all the city schools together, so they can put out what's going on in the schools to the administrators.
And
then
Email. It ain't no event.
yeah, it's never that type of, no.
You know, and then, but someone has to be accountable to making sure some of these things are met by a certain time or put in place to make the school system a little bit better.
Listen,
You know what I mean? Like,
the school system has been horrible, in my opinion, since.
Yeah.
I mean, it was hard.
What is his name? What is his name? The guy that changed the schools, that broke the schools up.
When they started taking out
Alondro.
shops and.
Oh yeah, those trades. Yeah,
They
they
started
started taking trades.
out of school. That's really.
Yeah.
It's still trades in school.
But not also, you had a language you had to take. That you had to take, and then you had sewing, typing.
It's trades now that appeal to like today, in all schools,
And all
Do y'all have home ec? We used to have home. We used to look forward to home ec. We was gonna make something good and then eat.
You had shop. You was gonna
Yeah,
build
shop
something.
class.
These things. So kids want.
So what kind of trades do they have at those schools?
So I know personally at my school we have cosmetology. We
Cosmetology,
have carpentry. We
carpentry,
have ROTC. We have culinary.
okay.
Y'all have pharmacy.
Yeah, we have my school is amazing.
It depends on those, but it's always a trade.
They have to. This is something they
Oh
have to
yeah,
want to get
you
into.
have to. Yeah, you have to choose a pathway. Yeah, you can't just be in school and not have a trade.
You gotta have a trade.
Like your 10th grade, everybody has a trade.
The only schools that are not trade schools are, and even still, even like Western has like trades as well.
Yeah.
But technically, who don't, like Poly and City don't necessarily have
But engineering
trades, but they have pathways.
Right.
So
Like
their
high school.
pathways are more college ready kind of sort of. Outside, like they got robotics and STEM. And my child, when she graduated, she graduated with the AP. She went like the AP track. So she took 4 or 5 AP classes per time.
Any more comments?
Between city and Poly versus.
So you need scores to get in, and they're not. And they pull in scores from every school, but
you need scores. Okay, I know you need scores to get in. But okay, so you're saying this kids was. So you're saying kids that in your school they don't have the school.
No. And if they did, I have kids who came to my school with the idea that it's a medical arts school, and was thinking that it was going to be kind of a different environment, but they had the scores, but their parents didn't let them go
Yeah, and I
to a poly, you know, that type of thing.
I remember when when Rashad was applying for high schools, and his first choice was Digital Hall because they just built it, and it was a engineering program or some type of on that type of thing, and so actually his first choice to go to was Digital Harbor, which I kind of was on a fence with. I didn't know anything about the school. It was new. So it was Digital Harbor, then it was Poly, then it was City.
Mm-hmm.
But Poly picked him up first.
Yeah.
But so that's why I asked, is it something that they just picking on this bright child?
No. So the people, Polly's get in Poly has been the same for forever. I went to Poly, and I went to Mount Royal, but I also went to Mount Royal where we still had gifted and talented entire middle schools. We had middle schools dedicated to kids. We had the testing. You just couldn't go there. They were like citywide middle schools. Roland Park, Mount Royal was one at one. Even Northeast Middle used to be a citywide middle school. So it was these schools and the kids that wanted to go to Poly, wanted to go to City, wanted to go to Western and Dunbar, all had to have composite scores. Carver, Emerson, Mervo, all of those schools, at one point in time, you had to have a composite score to get in there. Now, the minimum changed per school. So, like Carver, Emerson, Mervo, Dunbar probably had kind of the same composite score because they had the same type of schools. And then Poly, City, and Western had a higher composite score because they didn't offer trades. It was just strictly college curriculum, right? So when you had to have a high composite score. When I got into Poly, my composite score had to be higher than the rest of the students. Now the composite score is even higher because the kids that go to those schools where they are accelerating have created so much of a competition that Poly has to hire their scores, City has to hire their scores, in order for Western has to hire their scores in order to still get the best of the best. So
you drop the need for school.
and they took the score from Carver.
You don't need schools to get those.
And that's why all of this crazy stuff is happening.
So they educate some students, and the rest of the students they preparing them for like prison.
Yeah.
So they
Pipeline to
the
prison.
good kids. Yeah, they prepare them for prison, and then the parents who don't see what's going on and they don't know no better. You know, if you take your kid back up to the school and you want to argue with the teacher, and you take them back up there so they can have some get back with another student. You helping the system prepare your kid for prison or you know, helping them to send them to
walking
prison,
right to the jail door.
or you know, or for the grade.
I couldn't agree.
And so they don't understand, you know, they don't understand what they, you know, so when they say, well, my kid is now your problem, and so you can only do a certain, you know, what you can do with a kid, and then that's like throwing their kid away.
For a parent to say that, that's clearly showing signs that something is going on.
Yeah, they don't get it, they don't know.
And they won't discipline the kid. Like the kid that comes to school with $900 tennis shoes on.
Yeah.
So I just called home to let you know that your child is a behavior issue, is a distraction to other people. But when they get home, they get a new phone and new shoes, even though I just called home. So why am I listening to the teacher? I don't care if you go home.
What about like how do y'all like the kids that want to learn and stuff like that? Like how do you keep them like motivated or engaged and stuff and separated from the kids that you know that's out there?
So I try not to do separate but equal. Like I know my behavioral issues. I know my kids that are ticking time bombs. I know the kids that are struggling academically and they really don't know how to get out that hole. Mm-hmm. And then I know the kids that are excelling. I kind of have to push, what I do is push everybody to the excelling kids level and nothing less than that. Because now I promote those kids in my class.
Mhm.
I promote those kids and the kids love competition. They want to be first in everything. They want to be perfect. So if I give them what they conceive as my example of perfect, all of them are striving to be at that example because they all want to impress me.
Mhm.
So I use my kids that are gifted as, I give them I give them responsibility
Yeah.
because I know that they get overlooked.
Mhm.
They get overlooked because we expect them just to do everything. And a lot of teachers in these schools that don't have composite scores are dumbing the work down for kids because they want the kids to feel like they're succeeding. I'm not dumbing my work down. Like,
That's good.
my kids got to meet we talk about mediocrity, like we talk about life.
Mhm.
I teach them schools, whatever, but I teach them that stuff, the curriculum through real life lessons. So it's always going to be real in my room, and these kids are always going to be having a above average goal to meet. So they don't have time to play all day because my expectation, I asked them the other day because they also have this idea that teachers fail them, that the grade that they earn is not the grade that they deserve because they simply did the work. They think because they did the work, you're supposed to give them a grade for completion, never for what the work was about.
Right.
And so we don't work like that in my room. Like, it's so many things that I make them stand up to. And I asked them the other day, what is your expectation when you turn in a paper? What grade do you expect to have? And the way that they act, I'm thinking everybody gonna be in there like A, B. These jokers was in there like D, C.
Yeah.
I said, so if your expectation for yourself is here, why do you think I'm supposed to give you a higher grade than you even earned, that you even expect for yourself? Like, so it's just like a constant. I have to push them. I have to build assertiveness. I have to make them accountable for everything,
Mhm.
everything. So they get irritated by me a lot,
Yeah.
but I don't
So
care.
sometimes though, as a teacher though, you're not going to see like the results from a kid right away, or you
Yeah.
might not even see the results that you want. You know what I mean? While they're in school, because I know like when I didn't appreciate some of the teachers that I had until after I got out. Once I left high school, and then reality, you know what I mean? Reality kicked in, and then so I was like, oh, okay, now I appreciate that teacher because that's what that teacher was trying to show me at that time. So
And they are success stories. They're the kids that we still, that can call us anytime and mine. Like, these are the kids that I have kids that I have a relationship with that show up to birthday parties and real life events, Christmas, Thanksgiving, and they are my success stories.
How many kids in your class do you see making it to the next grade?
Probably the majority of them,
Mhm.
only because we have also made summer school free. So now it's like, it don't matter. I can do that in summer school.
Mhm.
Make them pay for summer school. I bet you everybody won't be there.
Mhm.
Summer school used to be $175 a class.
Yeah.
And in the moment, my mother didn't care about nothing. She was like, school is your responsibility. I'm convinced that your father taught you well. You will get good grades because he wouldn't have it no other way. And she was never like a disciplinarian. But when it came to that type of stuff, it was like,
And their consequences.
no. You know better. Yeah, you know better.
Yeah.
You just know better.
So that probably go back to what you was saying, what y'all was saying about like having parents be accountable and suffer the consequences, and then because I think that works.
Sometimes they may have not had, any parenting, and like you say, they are getting younger and younger.
Back when I was in school, some kids, they can't come to school because they done messed their mother food stamps.
Oh yeah.
Their mother stamps are getting cut off.
Let me tell you something. these parents, when it comes to like these kids going to the next level, and honestly, most of them are in a position where if they wanted to go to college, say a lot of them want to go to college because they don't know. They just don't know what college is, but they know it's different than what they are in. So a lot of them be like, I'm going to college because I want to get away from my family. I'm going to college because I want my own work. Like, but soon as these kids go to start the college process, that's the first thing. Oh, you didn't get my information. You won't have no fast for messing up my food stamps. So it's always that. It is always that. But a lot of these kids could apply for college as independents because they 19, 20, like, so they're a little older than 17 and not really dependent on their parents.
So they don't want to encourage their kids to go because it might mess up their benefits at that time.
Yeah, a lot of them won't fill out the FAFSA stuff for them. And honestly, because these kids are so impoverished, if their grades are pretty decent and they want to go to college, it will probably be kind of free.
Yeah.
Because they're going to get every Pell Grant. If they stay in Maryland, they're getting every Maryland grant for any impoverished student that wants a higher education. Yeah. And parents have no idea what's out there for the kids that do want to go to college. Like, they don't know. Yeah. So it's just unfortunate. I mean, the thing is that they get blessed with some teachers who are great like us, and then they, can give them some outlook, and they want to aspire to be what we tell them they can be. Like life is so big. You can tell the kids that listen to you because they want more. They question things. They're not just sitting around following everybody. Like, we got kids that we both taught who left school last year and was like, I don't know no other outlet but the military. And when I say soaring, not one kid spent his whole in the Navy, spent his whole tour abroad, Switzerland, Europe, Germany, Italy, like everywhere. And this is a kid who was a pretty intelligent kid, but somebody loved him, but he still was, a part of the crowd. And kind of like, well, what am I going to do now? He had no idea what he was doing.
Yeah. Because I believe it's a lot of intelligent kids.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. Because the school system is still teaching them old shit. Forgive my French, but that's what it is. This is a completely generation moving this way. How the school system going this way?
We aspire to be intelligent, though. They don't.
Yeah,
they smart. They dumb it down. Like, you guys know stuff, but don't want to be the one that knows stuff.
I had a kid in my class the other day, and she and I saw this, but I didn't know it was a hobby. So she was in class the other day, and we were learning about idioms or hyperboles. I think it was a hyperbole, and I was like, if you say something like you're gonna read 1,000,000 books, technically you're not gonna read 1,000,000 books. And when I said that to the class, she was like real low under her breath. And this is a little girl who doesn't really show up at school every day. What I would call an attendance problem. When I tell you she is bright, she is so bright. She says she loves to read. And I watched her in my class one day reading a book. And when I say the pages of the book were brown, it was like an old wolf on the front. Like, it was about this thick and the pages were brown. This is how old this book was. And she was in it reading. And she was like, and when she said it, I said, say it louder. And she was like, I like to read. Like, I might read 1,000,000 books. They was like the whole class. Now, the whole focus was on her liking to read. And they were like, for real? You read all the time? Like, is that something you like to do? Ain't it boring? Like, just trying to. And she like, no. It'd be interesting. It'd be a lot of stuff. The other day in class, she was like, listen, do you have any new books? Anything that I could check out? And I gave her like 4 books that I felt like are pretty decent reads. And she was like, all right, I'm gonna take this one and I come back for the rest. Like, so it's kids.
That's cool. So I appreciate your input on this topic, because that's, like what happened at Harvard yesterday, like, is, we definitely, people, we got to do better than that. Because Mikey called me and she was like, I just wanted to let you know I was all right. And I was like, okay, that's cool. She was like, no, it was a school shooting. I was like, I had no idea what happened at the school. But because when you don't expect stuff like that to be happening. You know what I mean? I know it happened from time to time, but then, it's just crazy when people be doing that. Yeah, yeah, it's just
But is it, we also, we send home the parents account, and then we would send home the administrators account. Is it something that, like, people who don't have kids in school?
yeah, because I mean it's a village type thing.
But the village is the village is gone.
Yeah, the village is gone.
The village is
People
trash.
want you to say something to the kids.
Nothing.
Don't say nothing to my child.
Like,
On the outside, like people like us, we don't have
Well,
kids. And,
people don't want to say them to somebody else's kids for fear that they're gonna be caught up in some nonsense.
Yeah,
I mean, parents don't want other people saying
Yeah.
that, well, disciplining their kids or correcting it. And I've seen this, I've seen parents not correct the child in front of me, correct the child in private. You get what I'm saying? But sometimes you need public humiliation.
Yeah.
You need to be.
as a child.
Yes, yes, as a child.
Yes,
But a lot of these parents won't embarrass their kids or won't discipline them openly. So they'll look at you like, what you did, my kid, why you did it? But then maybe alone, like, are you shouldn't have did that?
Yeah.
But I mean, if it's in private, then argue between me and you, cool. But in
Yeah, I
public,
think that's a good point. To like, but like I said, but that just goes to my point about like the village and respecting authority and just understanding that it's like a hierarchy to everything. Like you had we even knew who was what was Alex Pettigrew's as far as like Baltimore City. She was a school superintendent.
Yeah, she was the superintendent.
So-
Everybody knew who she was.
Right. Everybody.
Listen, we had a janitor at our school that worked there forever.
Mhm.
Forever. I used to get in trouble all the time for dress code violations. And I wasn't always violating the dress code. I just was a little bigger than all the rest of the girls. So the stuff that they could wear to school, I couldn't wear to school because it fit me a little different. So I would get in trouble at the door. When I tell you our administrator, dean of students, when you walk through that front door, she was standing at the front door like this, like literally, and she was an older white woman, but her husband was black with like locks.
Mhm.
I will never forget. Miss Muhammad used to stand at that door, and I would walk in there, and she would be like, "Come here.
Yeah.
What do you have on?" I'm like, "What? Put your hands to the side." And this wasn't with skirts. This was with shirts. A shirt that I had on here. Did it come long enough to cover this?
Mhm.
And it would be times when she'd be like, "Nope. Go down to the janitor and ask him for a jumpsuit." Like it was that, like even the janitor was involved in disciplinary action. It was nobody was turning the other cheek.
Yeah.
Kids ain't run no school. Every adult in the building ran the school. That's what it was.
And it should be, and it used to be a dress code. I see these kids, even little girls, with crop tops. You going to school. Now that's how you wear that when you're with your parents.
Yeah.
But you're trying to learn, and that could be a distraction.
Baltimore City schools uniform.
Yeah, but on the
Yeah, they don't abide by uniform policy. But
And my
Oh,
school,
you don't wear your uniform?
the food,
Yeah, we have to.
Right.
right? We can enforce it.
this has been literally probably the first year where I've seen the uniform policy almost executed flawlessly. Like almost, but we really do wear a uniform. Like my kids can't come to school with jeans and a shirt, you know what I'm saying? Or khakis and a shirt. Khakis is not like we wear skirts. Our students have to wear skirts because they're
Okay.
uniform. And this year they have designated colors to
To the
grades. And the colors are decent. Black, blue, and gray. So the kids be in their uniforms because they think they look slick, like they like the scrubs. And it's not a whole bunch of kids with colorful stuff, unless we don't tell them they can't wear their colorful ones because some of them that's all they have. But In the morning when these kids come in, let them not have on a skirt top. They take their stuff from them. They take them to like a fitting room.
Yeah.
Switch out for this. Give me that hoodie. And so now, before we used to have kids taking off the loaner uniforms, throwing them in the trash in the teacher classroom, but they had their stuff. Now they can't keep their stuff.
Yeah.
So they got to bring it back. So they be in uniform, but
That's good.
Not
on the dress down days, where they got paid $1 to dress down or whatever, I be like, oh my God,
So
how
we
did you
wear
get
polos,
this?
like our kids wear khakis and different color polos depending on their grade level. I've seen little girls turn their polos into crop tops. It's like tuck it under, fold it in
And
your bra,
tie it in the
and
back.
with your stomach out with a polo on that says school name.
Yeah.
Pull your
Yeah.
shirt up, please, man.
I got shit. Yeah. I've seen
You
them
wear
do that.
uniform.
I've seen girls at my school do the same thing with the scrub top.
Goofy.
Like, what are you doing? Why is your scrub top? Have you ever seen a nurse at the hospital with a scrub top made into a crop top? No.
The biggest dress code issue right now, I feel like in Baltimore City, is the ski masks.
Yeah.
Like they wear the ski mask all day because we just came from a pandemic where you had to have a mask on, but now we don't have. No, they still wear ski masks. Okay. So it's kids in the building where you don't even know what the kid is.
Well,
We don't.
I didn't know that.
Well, this year we've been enforcing it like, yeah, take the ski mask off, you can't wear the ski mask. But it's
Last year,
you've never seen
all day.
their hair, nothing. Like they
or they wear hoods and they wear masks. So you don't know who they are. Let me tell you something.
Yeah.
The dressing for the wrong season
is at an all-time high.
it's just crazy.
Yeah.
I have, and that's even with my own child. I'm so hard. She walked out the house last summer in a windbreaker, in a pants, and she would walk, and I'm like, you do know you look stupid, don't you? I'm cool. You look dumb. It's hot. You're not hot. You're not. You get something. It is no way. Right. It is no way. But you know, they just different, and but your approach with them gotta be a little different. Like you can't be a my way or the highway. Like they're not gonna listen to that. And as the adult, it really don't cost you nothing to kind of make it make sense. It just doesn't. But some adults are so gung ho on I'm the authority, the old school way. It's you can't say nothing. Shut your mouth. Kids don't have an opinion. You can't treat these kids like this because first of all, they are at 1 year old with an opinion, and some of them can talk better than 5-year-olds at one. So you gotta look at the total child and can't just treat them how you raised kids 12 generations ago.
So let me before we get off of this topic, let me ask y'all about, because I heard some reports that like Carver and administration and the people who dealt with that situation yesterday at Carver, I heard that they did a pretty good job. So like in your opinion, like how would y'all assess like how like the police and the administrators of the school handled that situation?
So being there yesterday when it took place, I can genuinely say we was on it. Like I heard the shots. And when I heard the shots, I was like, that couldn't have been gunshots. When I looked out my window, I saw some kids running, but it was some people just walking regular. So I was like, maybe it wasn't. I kept on doing what I was doing. I literally went to the classroom next door to ask a question. Walked out my room, walked in her front door, and they called the police. Building on lockdown. If you see kids in the hall, grab them, put them in your room, stay away from the windows, cut off lights. Within 30 seconds, the halls in the building was in.
Okay. All right. So.
And then even when parents, because once word got out, parents were coming to get their kids, and it happened right in front of the school. So what we were doing was, the streets was blocked up for contact, of course, but we made it known that we were letting them out through the gym, and you couldn't just leave out of the class. Like they did an all call for the kid. If you had the kid in your room, you would call the main office. The main office would send an administrator on the duck to get the kid and walk the kid to their parents.
All right.
And we got all the kids out of the building within like 2-3 hours.
All right, so I don't know if everybody heard you, so the first thing y'all did is y'all locked the school down like within like
20 seconds. It was like 30 seconds. Yeah.
Everything was locked down in the school, so that was good.
Even
and then so and also police
the
responded.
Police responded.
They responded right away.
They got the for Baltimore City police.
And even with with the time frame right after
Yeah.
the city police chief and the school police.
Well,
They were both on the scene to talk to reporters,
Uh-huh.
and the time frame was like 7:50. By 7:52, the first officer was on the
On the
scene.
site.
It's that long. I'm
Yeah.
telling you, it was
Yeah.
like our school police, of course.
He
it's
said
in
the first
building.
Baltimore City police officer got there at 7:52.
Yeah, I was trying to say,
Yeah.
our school police officer in the building, so when it happened, of course, she was the first responder to get there, but she wasn't there by herself for more than a minute, if that. Like, they
That's
were on it, like,
They shut they like all the classes, all the
yeah, it
hallways.
was no movement, so,
But no
like, all
movement.
right, so I don't have, it happened, school started 7:45, but shooting at 7:50. I don't have the first period class. I spent with somebody. There were 2 kids in the classroom that belonged to the other teacher, and I stepped in the hallway and grabbed 3 kids. So I had 5 kids in my room. The teacher next door, she had like 6 kids. So people that, because of the time frame, it wasn't a lot of kids
In their
class.
classes.
It was
In the cafeteria.
they were all 100
I
kids in the
knew
gym.
it. I
And
knew
the
it.
gym was right. The
I
gym,
knew it.
but they still kept order to get the kids to their parents.
Yeah.
But the majority of the kids were in the gym.
Because when they were probably just coming into
Yeah,
school, and
everybody
they
was
stopped all of them and
everything.
moved them to one
Yeah.
location.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
So
But
there was no.
it was kind of good that the kids even were following protocol.
They were.
Yeah.
I didn't have no kids complaining. I didn't have people saying sit down.
No,
They were
was
trying
like,
to. They was on their phones trying to make arrangements to get out of there.
All right. So once the school is locked down and all they had the kids in the proper areas where they should be at, then on top. So how did the parents know the kids was texting them or something?
Yeah,
Oh,
so,
yeah.
yeah, for sure. Parents were
Yeah.
calling, texting, actively calling. So all right. So we don't have like an intercom system where the classrooms can call back to the main office. The main office can call into the classroom and look for a kid, but we can't call back to the main office. So as they were looking for kids, now kids were all over the place. Like I said, I had kids in my room that I don't teach.
Yeah.
So they would do an all call for the kid, and
So everybody-
the secretary emailed everybody in the building her cell phone number.
Mm.
So if you got the kid, you would call her cell phone, and she would send somebody. Now, a genius of a teacher sent her cell phone to parents. Parents were calling her.
Oh, wow.
So at some point, she's like, "Yo, this is my personal number." She said by the end of it, she had like 80 voicemails from parents.
Yeah.
Because teachers were giving her her number. She's like, y'all can't give out my personal. I gave this to you also. She could tell me where the kid is. So I can get the kid to their parents. Y'all need to tell the parent to call me. But the school phone was ringing off the hook because you got everybody calling, panicking for their child from the school phone. So that was busy.
And I'm scared in my room, like, oh, they keep calling me. I don't know what to do. Give me the secretary number. I would have never, that thought would have never crossed my mind.
Yeah.
You see what I mean? So it's even adults
Yeah.
that just don't have it.
Yeah.
They just don't have it.
Yeah.
They just have the educational.
Exactly. Not common sense at all. And the biggest problem that we have right now is the lack thereof.
But I can say that the administration is staff, faculty, everybody did
Well, the
great.
news, it looked like it was, it didn't look like it was chaotic.
It wasn't. It wasn't. If you like, there wasn't no kids outside of that building. All the kids were locked down inside. I've never seen them hallways that clear.
Yeah.
I've never seen them,
good.
and it wasn't like I could hear people. Like everybody
It was
sitting
very
there
quiet. When you told me that you were like, I'm in the class, I'm chilling. I got kids. We
Yeah.
just waiting
I
for
had
the
a
call.
laptop cart in my room. The kids just grabbed the laptop.
They were literally quiet.
You think it because it was that early and no kids were really in the building yet? Or-
It was kids in the building. It was kids. It was a lot of kids in the building. They just were all in, not all, but it was a good majority of them in the gym.
So,
I think it was smooth because of the seriousness. So it's different intakes. If depending on what grade you into the building for different sections. So where the gym is I think that 11 to 23. So you got 2 grades there. So already it's
So nobody was. So because the front door is not an
interest
entrance
for
for
kids,
students,
right? It's not.
it wasn't a heavy
Where
congregation
the-
of students
where
where
the
the
shots
shootings.
Oh, okay.
So
Because they don't come that way. They go here. The gym is down here on Preston, right? The gym is on Preston, and the
it's on
cafeteria is on Bill.
right. So some kids it's in the cafeteria. Some
And
kids
the front door is on the corner of Preston and
and
Bill.
right.
So-
And the shooting happened in front of the front door. So there weren't kids in intake coming in and through the front door. That's why it was kind of only, there was one kid that got caught.
Yeah, but it was mainly the kids who were involved.
Right, just in that area. Because of that. I feel like that could have been why I went to school too, because they already knew what all the kids, you know.
And they knew who it was immediately.
They knew it was here.
Yeah. So yeah, I just felt like it was important to you know to let everybody know that like the police and administrators and the teachers they was on top of their game for us, like you know to handle that situation and to get the kids out of get them out of harm's way. So that was cool.
It worked.
Yeah. So, but it's also it's unfortunate that we people have to know those kind of protocols.
Very
Too,
unfortunate.
you know. So, but yeah, that's so glad we had this talk about schools and stuff like that, and about this situation that happened yesterday. So with that being said, I'm gonna wait for my producer to get back so we can talk about.
Hour 10.
Oh, hour 10. So we want to make sure everybody make sure that you like and subscribe to the channel. We appreciate your support. Also go to urbanplatformfashion.com. Get yourself a short sleeve t-shirt, or if it's too cold for short sleeve t-shirts, get yourself a long sleeve t-shirt. And if it's too cold for a long sleeve t-shirt, get yourself a hoodie. And you did that real good. And if it's too cold for a hoodie, just hold on. We have some coats. We're gonna have some coats coming in here sooner or later, but right now, or you could buy 2 hoodies, or you could buy all 3, the short sleeve, long sleeve,
And don't forget to keep your feet warm.
Yeah, definitely keep your feet warm. We got the 11/11 socks also. Just go to the what is it? Instagram. Go to Instagram and order the 11/11 socks for right now until we get them put up on the website. And also we just want y'all to to speak on this situation, leave a comment, let us know what y'all think about not only Baltimore City schools, but it's schools around the country, man, that is having these issues with kids coming to school, bringing their street beefs to school, and then settling them in school. But school is not the place for this, I want y'all to speak on this topic. Let us know how y'all feel. And if y'all got some good teachers out there, these schools, make sure, y'all get these teachers and these administrators some support, at least give them a shout out, acknowledge these
Tell them
teachers,
that you
man.
appreciate
it. Yeah, man, because if, like people who, not outside of the parents, who looking out for the kids, man, you definitely got to show them some love.
Yeah.
Yeah, man, they trying to send these kids either to prison or, and a handful of them wind up going to college, but man, they just trying to railroad these kids. And, so make sure y'all show the teachers some love. With that being said, man, we'll see y'all tomorrow for the sports talk program. And make sure y'all tune in tomorrow at 11 a.m. Or should I say around 11? People around 11. Yeah, but with that being said, we appreciate y'all tuning in. Make sure to like and subscribe.